Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Aiscend Podcast, where real estate meets AI. I'm your host, Hannah Taylor, and today I'm joined by Melody and Rod, the powerhouse duo behind NextHome Navigator in South Jordan, Utah, who are in the middle of a major transition in their business model. As margins shrink and agent expectations rise, Melody and Rod are pivoting from running a traditional brokerage to building a more focused, high-performance team, one built on accountability, daily structure, and sustainable growth. In this episode, we're diving into what it really takes to make that shift, how they're developing systems, managing culture, and why they believe success in real estate still comes down to mastering the basics. We'll also talk about how technology and AI could play a role in training, accountability, and communication as they scale. Melody and Rod, I'm so glad you're here and welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having us, Hannah.
Yes, I'm really excited today to hear a little bit more about this new team and what you guys are doing to develop this new system and processes for you. So why don't you guys give me a rundown of how you got here, why you're going the team route, and everything in between.
You bet. So Melody and I have been selling real estate for almost 25 years. We've, coached and trained real estate agents all over the United States and Canada. We've been involved with managing a couple of the largest offices in the state of Utah. And we're at that point in our businesses where we want to be able to give back. We want to make sure that other agents have the opportunity to learn and grow in this amazing dynamic business and be successful. It's about that time.
Yeah, it's about legacy.
I love that so much. So what made you guys decide that now was the right time to switch?
Do you want to be honest?
Yeah, let's hear it all. The good, the bad, the ugly.
It's all about profit margins. In a real estate company, obviously, which is where we've been, the profit margins are very narrow because agents are demanding higher and higher splits, more and more services. And so the switch over to the team model is to help that bottom line. Then we can help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Along with that, I'll just mention, unfortunately, the traditional model is, a hands-off approach with your real estate agents. So they almost have to figure it out on their own. While the structure is getting less profitable, part of the reason for that is because the agents are getting less and less training and coaching and advice from their brokers or from their leaders just because of the lack of profitability. And so what we're looking at is a way that would not only be a win for the agents, but also a win for the leaders to make sure that, yes, they're getting the top available training and coaching and systems and models that actually work. And we're actually making a little bit for the time, energy, and effort that we're pouring into them. We want to make sure that whether they work for us or for anybody else in the future, that they're not beholden to a company for leads or for success, but they actually know how to go out and win on their own.
I love that. I think I remember Melody had said to me one time, if they come for leads, they'll leave you for leads.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
you couldn't be more right about that, right? I think it really is the training and the support that they have that makes agents stay, but that also helps their production, right? And so it's a win-win situation for everyone. So dive in a little bit more about the training and the support that you guys are using or the systems that you're, providing to your new agents.
One of the things that we made a decision on a little while ago is that we wanted to be remote. Whenever you go into an office, unfortunately, the people that you are interacting with and spending time with, not one of them is ever going to buy or sell a house with you, right? And so we wanted to figure out how do we get our agents in front of the people that are actually likely to buy and sell homes and someone that they can actually help. And we felt like creating an environment with the technology, with some of the different things, and I'll let Melody explain some of that stuff, but we felt like that would actually move people into success a lot faster than having a brick and mortar box where unfortunately we end up spending a lot of time building relationships with people that will never transact with us.
Yeah. So we allow them to live in the neighborhoods that they love and that they serve. And I think that makes it a lot more hyper local for the agents and their clients.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Yeah.
So tell me, now that you've been building this team, what are agents looking for in team leaders and what's important to them today?
Most of the time it's training.
Training.
And a word that agents don't want to say out loud, but that I think is very important as leaders, and that's accountability. If you want to package it up and call it something else, that's fine. But it really is accountability, because at the end of the day, we're all pretty slimy, especially with our schedule, right? And if we can, we'd rather, go to the pool or go to the beach or to the mountains in our case, and then sit and prospect. So accountability is really an important key factor in building a team and the culture around our team.
Yeah, no, I think that that is 100% accurate. I mean, living in Denver, I could easily go take a day and go to the ski resorts like midweek when nobody else is there. But
Yeah,
sometimes you just can't in this business, right? It's not that you can,
yeah.
you have the autonomy to do what you want and work as much as you want or as little as you want, but your bottom line really does reflect how hard you're working.
It does.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
great when you do have leaders that can hold you accountable, or at least impress upon you why it's important to hold yourself accountable. Um,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah.
So tell
One of
me
the
a
other
little.
things I've noticed, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
a lot of the real estate agents today are working in offices where their broker at one time, 20 years ago in 1985, was having a lot of success. And so they're learning and growing from somebody who really isn't actively involved in today's market. When I think the most recent stat I saw is that 85% of the agents that are in real estate today have never experienced a market like the one we're experiencing today, where sellers don't have all necessarily the advantage all the time. Buyers have a little bit more of an advantage. Houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer. There's a lot more inventory to choose from. And so they're looking for somebody who can guide them through today's market and not yesterday's market. And I think that becomes critical to future success. It's being able to be around people that have experienced maybe a down market, the Great Recession from 2008, 2012, what kind of an impact that had. And then the other situation that we're dealing with a lot of the buyers is affordability and being able to help them make good decisions for their future without a lot of the fear. I think a lot of the reason that people, real estate agents and people in general are maybe slimy or don't stick to a schedule or maybe aren't as committed to their diets as they'd like to be, is primarily out of fear and like Melody mentioned, maybe a little bit of accountability as well.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. So, Rod, you kind of mentioned just the difference in today's market in comparison to other markets. So, what are you and your agents doing differently now? Obviously, technology is a big role in how we're operating our businesses,
Yeah.
so that might be one component. But what are you guys doing to basically stay up with the times and in front of people today?
Yeah, we are embracing a lot of technology. I think having the tools that we have today that we've never had before. Learning how to communicate with people is one of the best and most important critical tools in success in our industry. Yet finding people to practice with, role play with, doing different things like that has been a big challenge. And because we feel insecure or uncomfortable with our skill set, we oftentimes avoid that process. Well, in today's world, you can jump onto an AI bot and learn objection handlers, scripting, dialogues, how to communicate at a higher level with different personality traits and find ways to succeed without necessarily being involved with somebody who's judging you on the other end of the line. That computer doesn't care what your skill set is, and they'll take you from where you're at to where you want to be and continually get more and more complicated and difficult with the objections that you're handling. And I think, those are some of the coolest things and some of the coolest tools that we have available today. The world is also shrinking, right? We can communicate at super quick speeds with people in multiple different markets. And so gaining those relationships and utilizing the technology that we have to figure out, hey, Florida right now is having a sharper downturn than maybe Utah. What can I do to reach out to some of those markets and learn from what it is that they're doing? There are more opportunities today to list homes. It's getting a lot easier to list homes than it has been over the last several years. It's getting a little harder to sell them. So, we're leaning into that side of the business and making sure our agents are learning the skill set to be able to list properties, not only list them, but list them at a price that will cause them to sell and get buyers interested, and then making sure that they're utilizing all of the tools, to increase the exposure and not just relying on the multiple listing service to do all that hard lifting for you.
Yep.
That's great. Anything to add on that, Melody?
Well, AI isn't just about creating MLS descriptions. It isn't, that's what I see most agents try to do at the very beginning of, utilizing Chat GPT or Perplexity or any of the others, is just to, give me a description. And to me, it is more of being able to drop in all of the information about your business, whether it is your company, your team, or your solo agent business. Drop it all in and have it analyze your standard operating procedures, your scripts, like everything that you're doing should be run through one of the AI systems, in my opinion, and have it give you its very plain language response, like without saying, without trying to prompt it to be flowery. And you'll be surprised at what comes up as your weaknesses, and you can actually shore those up. So every time that we implement a system, we actually run it through Chat GPT, our old one, work on it with the new one, basically archive all the old stuff and put in all of the new stuff before we start to actually implement it. And that really helps us move more quickly through implementing some of the systems and being able to stay virtual like we are.
I love that. That's amazing. And I think you guys both touched on so many good points about AI. And I think, just given how we used to operate our businesses, which was the human to human
Yeah.
connection, I think a lot of people do get scared that AI will take away that human component, but that's not it at all, right? Because Melody, as you were speaking to, we input all the data into
Yes.
the AI systems and they learn from us. So that human
Yes.
component can still stay. But it's just making our systems more efficient. It's making us be able to accomplish more each day by taking out some of that like noise in our day to
Yeah.
day, because we are busy people. And to sit down and write property descriptions, or so I think sometimes even for me, I use the sales analyzer calls while I'm on a call,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
have that sales analyzer tell me while I'm on the phone, what I'm doing well and what I could improve upon. And
Yeah.
that
I love that.
helps me convert from a lead to a client, or helps me negotiate in certain areas. So I think there's a lot of use cases for
That
agents.
is like having a coach listening to every single thing as you're saying it. That is just brilliant. I love
Oh,
it.
absolutely brilliant. And if you
Yeah.
think about how much money people spend on real estate coaches, right? Um,
Yeah.
and now we have this wonderful tool that we can utilize and kind of implement as long as we are utilizing it, right? And I think
Yes.
that might be something, and maybe you can speak to this like in your brokerage, if you've had any challenges with compliance with any of the agents that you've brought on the team, or if there's some agents
Uh,
that are into it and some that don't really buy in. Like, how is the adaptation of these types of tools working for you?
it's interesting because a lot of the agents in today's world, the demographics are, what are they, 56, 57 and older, and
Mm.
women.
Oh,
So,
Average agent is maybe, yeah, in her
yep.
50s and it's a lady. Yep.
Yep.
wow.
Yep. That's the normal demographics. So if you think about that, you've got to take an agent in that is in that demographic
Mhm.
and train them on something that's completely foreign.
Oh, yeah.
So you're beginning from the very beginning. It's not, typing in just a question like you do in Google. It's showing them how to prompt correctly and how to, get those responses out. It's amazing some of the silly questions that we answer as a broker that can actually be answered better by an AI, right?
Yes. Yeah.
If they knew how to prompt for the correct response. So that's really some of our training is how to prompt
Mm, yeah. I think I actually
simply.
get training on that. There's an app out there, and obviously no affiliation with this app, but I think it's called Coursive.
Yes.
And yeah, that's like
Yeah.
you can just, it's a free trial or $40 a month or whatever it is. But yeah, it teaches you like the benefits of adding descriptors and things like that to the AI prompts so that you can actually get the output that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, once people get that tool down, it's honestly like we're in such an interesting space. I think AI, the creation of it, is like the creation of the internet, right?
Yes, I
It is
agree.
that radical to all of our businesses and to everything that we're doing. And if you're not catching it while while it's being started, you're gonna have a harder time adapting as things get to be really
Yeah,
advanced.
and it really is holding the team members' hands that are in this age bracket and afraid of it,
Mhm,
and walking them through it the first
mhm.
couple of times and making sure that they've got the confidence to be able to do it on their own. And that really is a powerful tool for them, is to know that it's not as scary
Yeah,
as they think it is, because
absolutely.
it's really scary to them.
I can
They,
imagine.
they think of Terminator.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, and I imagine probably too, like things that are a little challenging for them are things like social media marketing and things
Yep.
in our market that's critical to do. And
Yep.
I think, AI is something that can help make that easier. So,
Yeah.
hopefully there's an unlock component where it's like once you get the hang of this, like you really do, and it helps a lot of different areas of your business.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but going back to the two of you, it sounds like obviously you're still producing, you're
Mhm.
training these agents, you're doing the marketing for the brokerage. If AI could take one repetitive or time-consuming task off of your role or off of your plate, what would it be?
Well, I have one that comes to my mind, and I kind of alluded to it a minute ago, and that is the the questions that we get asked that could be answered very quickly with AI, that we get asked by our team members, and we try to empower them at the beginning to know where to go to look for answers. That's the first step, but really, I could use help with that.
Mm,
So Rod and I were at lunch the other day with our son who is in college. He's third year, and we were talking about this issue, and he's kind of just starts focusing in on his phone, like how kids do. And I thought, well, I wonder what he's doing. I started talking to Rod, and pretty soon he says, "Yep, I could do that. I could build that GPT for you."
love that.
And he knew it within 5 to 10 minutes that he could build something that would actually answer all of the questions that I get asked as a broker.
That's so great. And it's wonderful to have
So,
someone who's fluent in it, who knows how to kind of set that up for you. So it's smooth sailing from here. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Rod, any other contributions?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. One of my mentors, Darren Hardy, talked about in one of the greatest talks that I've ever heard as far as real estate stuff goes. He mentioned your ability to say no to certain things is probably more important than your ability to say yes. And one of the challenges that we have is narrowing down all of the millions of different distractions that we have. I think for me, to follow up on that question is, I think the one thing that I would use it for the most on a day-to-day basis is literally coaching. I would, punch in the top coaches in the real estate industry and I would say, hey, if you were so and so, what advice would you give me today to be successful or whatever it is, and being able to help. But, um, you know, designing your day, structuring your day for productivity and effectiveness, there's so many things that can distract us. So I think those are a couple of things is instant coaching on ideas that you need solved now, and then just making sure that the focus is on the activities that are actually bringing money into your business as opposed to just a distraction.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense. And just to kind of wrap it up here, I know you guys are working on, building out this team. How are you doing with the recruiting and everything like that? Are you guys attracting great, high producing agents, or are you having a little trouble with that? Like, how is that all going?
It's funny, we're actually using a lot of technology to help us narrow down the agents that we are looking for. And just like with everything, it's not necessarily, there are, uh, I believe, roughly 30,000 real estate agents in the northern part of the state of Utah where we practice.
Wow.
And taking that 30,000 and narrowing it down to 5 to 10 that are what we're looking for, that are, and we're utilizing all of these tools to chew up the data, figure out which agents are most like what we are looking for, and that's what we're focusing on. Our biggest challenge is it's hard not to want to say yes to everybody. As a real estate agent, when you go out and you meet with somebody, you're looking for a yes constantly. And shifting that mindset from when you're going out looking for agents to I'm looking for a very specific type of agent. It's the biggest challenge is having the ability to say no to the people that we feel like would not be a fit. Oddly enough, with our technology, we're actually having more people reach out to us and ask to join us. And now it's filtering through those to make sure that we make the right decisions for the team and for the agents that we're bringing on. We got to make sure that we're going to be a good fit for them as well.
Yep.
I love it. Honestly, you guys have given so much great insight into how you're leveraging technology in today's space. You guys are, I think, probably at the forefront for the conversations that I've had where you're already in it and already really cranking with a lot of these new systems. So it's super exciting to hear. You guys, thank you so much for sharing your story and your insight. I love how you're just blending, the old school consistent methods of working on your sphere and always touching base with your entire database, but then also the forward-thinking systems. It's definitely a good reminder that technology should enhance the human connection and
Okay.
not replace it, So
And
please
we love
let us
what you're
know.
doing. Thank you for inviting us on and keep on going, man. This is exactly what people need right now. So
Thank you
thank
so much. Tell us how the listeners can reach you if they're looking to shop in the Utah market or just want to pick your brains for their own brokerages.
I love it. So they can reach us at 801-845-2933. That's mine. Rod's is 801-930-0945, right?
Yep, that's it. Awesome.
Well
Yeah.
done.
And a text or a call, feel free to reach out anytime if you have any
Yeah.
questions, if there's anything we can do to support you.
Love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.